Speak up, even if the perpetrators are your own families. 80% of the time, abuse happens within the family itself. Everybody wants to pass the baton, or it's your responsibility, or everybody wants to shift the blame, never taking responsibility. There's a lot of cases that goes unreported. You have to always raise awareness and ask people to come forward. It's always victim blaming. You kena ni because you pakai macam ni, you because you naughty. That has to change. I want every child to be safe, to be in an environment where they are safe, to give them a voice.
Welcome to another episode of Life Confessions, and as usual, we have amazing guests who join us. And today we have Tengku, Yasmin, Nastasha. She is the project director for Children's Protection Society Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me on your show.
We're so excited today, especially because it seems almost like a coincidence that what happened yesterday, at the time of recording, the incident that happened yesterday, the stabbing at the school in the Klang Valley, where one life was lost, and it has affected the lives of so many people. Before we get more of your thoughts and insights into that, let's first find out what first drew you to the field of child protection, and was there a particular moment or story that made you realize this is what you wanted to dedicate your life to?
What drew me to child protection? Actually, growing up, I've always been involved in community work because I would follow my mother to go to her NGOs that will go to the differently abled communities, will go to the orphanages, will go to the underprivileged families, to help out. So that taught me empathy at a very young age. Even though I think at that point of time, I don't even know what empathy meant, you see. So I always when I see what she was doing, I always wanted to do the same, I wanted to help others however I can. So with child protection, it's just that I think there is a lack of child protection awareness in Malaysia. So that's what brought me to advocate for child rights.
You mentioned that your mother is the person who was exposing you to the issues surrounding you, and the elephant in the room is that your mom is just right there next to us right now, a little off camera. Describe the relationship that you have with your mother.
She is my role model. She's also I am a lawyer because I followed in her footsteps.
Right.
At first, it's just because I wanted to dress up how she would dress up to go to court. I would find it pretty black and whites with pearls and all that, with a rope on. So I was like, I want to be like you because I really looked up to my mother. So, and then everything just fell into place. At first, I wanted to do fashion marketing and all this, and then I got offered to do law, and also she was like, take it. I was like, okay.
That is a big difference.
Yeah.
From fashion to law.
Yes.
What was the ultimate reason for you making that decision?
Ultimate reason. First, she was like, if you want to go to fashion school, you fund it yourself. But yeah, I always knew I wanted to help the people however I can.
Right.
See, so that's what led me to, okay, I want to do law. I want to help. I want to at least try to help some people.
And from law to also now including the Children's Protection Society, Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, has there ever been a child or a case that stayed with you long after it ended? One that changed the way you approach your work, perhaps?
There has been many cases, but one that really affected me would be, remember the Nurin Jazlin case?
Right.
If you remember, she was killed around in 2007. Around at the time I was around her age and all that. She was found in a body bag with timon and all in her.
She was abused, yeah.
So she was sexually abused. So that was like, why why aren't we doing something, even back then and now. There's so many stories of abuse and all that. So I want to advocate for that and talk about that, start the conversations, you see.
CPS Malaysia-KL recently launched a program actually that was targeted at helping teens. Can you tell us more about that program?
So that program is called Program Kemba'an Remaja. So we started it off in Seremban, and then we've gone to Pahang, we've gone to KL, Pahang, Seremban, Pahang, Negeri Sembilan, and KL. So what we do is that we teach the children, the teens, it's actually not just teenagers, it's preteens as well.
Right.
So we teach them what are their rights, what do they have to do, recognize what are unsafe touches and all this, and speak up, even if the perpetrators are your own families. Because 80% of the time, abuse happen is in the family, within the family itself. So
which is such a shocking statistic.
It is. And then, so whenever we go for, we do this program, we'll invite D11 from Bukit Aman. So they would give their talks and they would give their data, show real cases. Because, we can advocate and tell them, oh, do this, do that, and all this is what you have to do. But kids, they have to see it to believe it, you see? So, it's not something distant anymore. When you bring this, they'll see, oh, actually, this could happen to me, or it's happening to me. So in this program, we get not they'll come after the program finishes, and they ask, actually, I've been experienced this, what do we do and all that.
Right.
So we would teach them, this, you have to go to the police or you go to the hospital if you've been abused, get it checked, report it, and then we'll connect with D11 to take the case,
Right.
Yep. So that's what we do.
So you've seen the moments where the realization settles in while they're there learning, and you realize they may have been experiencing abuse without even realizing they were experiencing abuse.
Yes. So a lot of that happens actually. Even at our shelter, there was a story that this girl was actually sexually abused by the father, but she didn't know. She thought that's how the father is showing her love. So he was raping her when the siblings are out. The mother went to work because she didn't go to school, because these are kids from the Pendalaman, you see, from the villages.
Right.
So not all of them can go to school. So she is left at home. Father comes back from work and then shows her love, and then goes out and then comes back again, and it happened until somebody reported, and we took them in, and then we found out that she was actually sexually abused by the father.
Because everyone learns what normal is.
Yeah.
If your normal is what you're exposed to every day, you don't think it's extraordinary until you realize this isn't supposed to happen, and the feelings that you're feeling are valid.
Yes.
This actually raises the issue of that incident that recently happened, which is the case of the 4 students who assaulted the girl in a classroom in a school in Malacca.
Yep.
When you hear stories like this, what is your initial reaction?
Of course, we'll get at first we'll get angry, like, how can this happen in school,
Yeah.
But at the same time, we have to address the issue. The issue is that we are not monitoring the children. We are not teaching them the right values, what is wrong, what is right. You see, everybody wants to pass the baton, it's your responsibility, or it's your responsibility, and all that. Everybody wants to shift the blame, never taking responsibility. And then these kids, because they're, I think, overexposed, because, everybody has gadgets now, and information is wide, and they can get anything, they can see anything on their phones,
Right.
and there's no monitoring there, you see. So that's why it's happening. And then you have all this people trying to normalize sexual jokes and all that. So that's why people do this, that's why kids are doing this, because we're normalizing it. We don't say, no, this is wrong. You shouldn't make sexual jokes or rape jokes or anything of that sort, you see.
And in your experience, when issues like this crop up, is there a wider feeling of responsibility that people want change, or do people normally brush it under the rug and go, oh, this is a one-off, it won't happen again?
This is my personal opinion. It's always when a case happens, we have to do something about this. And then they'll talk about it for like a month or so. And then after that, nothing happens. That's why awareness has to be constant.
Right.
And awareness only has to lead to action. You cannot just raise awareness, but it has to come into action, you see. You should see whether when you're raising awareness, are people just really changing and reporting?
Yeah.
Or is it just like, okay, I know what to do, but I'm not doing it because it's not my problem?
Right. Is it the story of the hour?
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're going to talk about it now because it's in the news.
Yeah.
And then just because something is no longer in the news doesn't make it any less
Yes.
important.
Yes.
And that's where people like you and societies and organizations like the Children's Protection Society Malaysia are there to constantly remind people of what is important and needs attention.
Yes. So we have to keep the conversations going, even when you think that there's no case, just because it's not reported in the news. There's a lot of cases that goes unreported. So we have to always raise awareness and ask people to come forward.
So in your experience, what are the most pressing protection risks for Malaysian children today? Because there's so many things to focus on. How do you, which ones are the ones that require the most attention at the moment?
Okay, I think that every issues matter because each one leaves a scar, whether it's visible or not. That's a different thing. But we see a worrying rise in school violence, and like the case of the girl being murdered in school yesterday and the rape case in Malacca. You see, there's a lot of anger in children nowadays, so that has to be addressed. We have to address that anger. Where is this pain coming from? How can they do such a thing, you see?
Yeah.
So we have to ask ourselves, what are we not doing? What are we not doing right? Or what if we are not doing enough? And if you asked me a month ago, would I ever imagine that this murder case would happen in Malaysia? I would say no, because that's very dystopian in Malaysia. I feel.
It's why we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Because it's shocked us. We never thought this would happen in our country.
So it reflects something deeper. It's a systemic failure in our it's a systemic failure. So we've neglected emotions, emotional education, and then we've replaced that with convenience, and we've ignored red flags until a tragedy strikes. So, but at the same time, we still have the online grooming that's really rampant, and the predators are evolving quicker than our laws, you see. So that we cannot ignore. So we have to what do you call this? We have to address all this, and we cannot put, this is more important than that. Yeah.
When you talk about online sexual exploitation, including grooming,
Yeah.
what do we need to look out for?
We have to this is what whenever I talk to like the police and all that, we have to monitor what our children are doing online, the games that they play. So if it's interactive, when you can send messages, the kids can send chats, like on Roblox, can talk with the chat, and then they'll ask these predators, they'll start by asking you to send pictures. I want to be your friend, add you on other social media or like WhatsApps and all that. So we have to monitor our children's phones and see who they're talking to.
Any game that has a chat capability needs to be monitored.
Yes.
Because as easily as a child can be speaking to another child, an adult can be on the other end of that conversation. And an adult can be who is motivated enough, can get a lot done to manipulate a child.
So a lot of that happens, you see. And then recently I interviewed D11 Puan Siti. She said that I asked, when the child meets the predator, why are they okay? But because they've been groomed, you see, so they accepted like, oh, it's okay, even though he's not what he say he was, so it's okay.
Right.
Because there's already a connection.
Right. They feel like they've built a friendship, even though the person that they're meeting in real life isn't the person that they were told, but they formed a bond.
Yeah, there's a bond already, so that's why they're okay with that.
How do you, one of the other issues that has cropped up is the possible abuse or neglect within shelters. How do you assess and manage the risks of internal abuse or neglect within shelters or care homes, given how vulnerable children are?
So at CPS, we take accountability and transparency. So there's always check and balances within our shelter. If a guardian or social workers like tiba-tiba terjerit dekat the kids, they would tell one of the other workers would say, no, you should, not do this and all that. And then if ever the children feel like, they're not being treated right, they can always write anonymously to the shelter and we'll take that in. And then we also welcome unannounced interviews by the welfare department. They'll come in and then I'll talk to the children in private and they'll ask, if there's any problems. So there's always accountability and transparency in our shelter. And because we cannot assume that our shelter is safe because we know all this, safety cannot be assumed.
Right. The shelters, tell us more about what types of children are allowed to stay or do you bring into the shelters?
So at Children's Protection Society Malaysia, the shelter is based in Penang. We take in children from the age of 5 to 17. But there are some cases that we take in younger ones if we have to. So we don't take orphan children actually.
Okay.
So who we take are kids who have been abused, been neglected, or abandoned.
Right.
Yeah. So they have parents, but it's circumstances. Parents can't care for them, or parents have abused them. So that's we take them in. We give them education. We give them love. That's important, you see, because they lack love. And then we'll send them for therapy, education, and we actually take care of everything, of their well-being. And then even like there's tuitions and all, we'll send them to tuitions if they're sitting for major exams. They do outdoor activities. They play pickle at the shelter.
Pickleball, yeah.
I went there. I was like, oh, I've never even played pickle. You see, but the children are happy there.
Right.
So I'm very happy to know that they're comfortable and safe in that shelter.
So there are incidences where parents themselves have actually brought their kids over, saying that they are incapable of raising the children themselves. In those cases, are parents still given access to the kids?
Yes.
Because they're incapable of being all that they want to be.
So we try not to keep the children. We try to send them back, but before that, we have to ensure that their home is safe for them to go back.
Right.
So there has to be some changes made in their homes before they get sent back. But if the parents can't take them in, or they've been abused, then we'll care for them. And then if the children are good students, we'll try to send them to universities. Yeah, it's sponsored by our generous donors.
So there are like actually future plans for the kids who, because you said until the age of 17, correct? So that means once they
graduate,
right?
Yeah.
So they can actually still access services.
Yeah, so we will put them into universities or send them to vocational college.
Right.
At CPS we want to ensure that their lives, they can fend for themselves. You see,
there are so many issues to be raised, as we've mentioned already. What strategies do you use to raise awareness of child protection issues in Malaysia, especially sensitive ones like sexual abuse or grooming?
So we actually tailor our approach. To who we're speaking to. Sorry, in schools we equip children and teachers actually with tools to understand consent and protection, and then with parents we always tell them, listen to your kids. Don't just ignore them just because you've already given them this and all. Listen to them when they want to speak to you. Don't talk down on them. Speak at that same level, because your kids, if they don't trust you, how are they gonna tell you what's going when there's something wrong in with them, you see? And how are you gonna protect them if you don't know what's going on with your child?
If they don't think that you're going to believe them,
Yep.
how are they going to come to you when they're dealing with something that they need your help
Yes.
with? Yeah.
So you have to always listen to your child. And then with media, through our podcast, we always want to share stories, not just share stories and that's it, just because, but we want to educate and inform what they have to do so that they, what do you call this? Educate and inform them, and empower them, you see. Yeah.
For programs like these, where you go into schools and you teach the kids about their rights and how to advocate for themselves, do you wait to be invited, or how does it work? Can a school reach out to you, or do you make yourselves available by approaching schools and asking if they want a program? How does it work?
So all our programs, actually we've been invited. Yeah, so we've been invited by the PPDs, and then we've done with the blind community in Bangsar. See, so they invite us.
Oh, even with the
Blind community, yeah,
Right.
do with the children, small
for the
children.
school, right?
Yeah, with a Malaysian Association for the Blind.
Right.
Yeah, so they invite us and to do the program. And then that's how we also found out actually the blind community also have been abused, and that's worse because they don't know who the perpetrator is, you see?
That makes sense, because a predator some might see them as a vulnerable community.
Yep.
Wow. So they're even more so they
Yeah.
need to learn how to identify.
And protect themselves.
Wow. Do you find that when you go into communities and you share with them, what are some of the responses that you've gotten?
All the responses have been very positive. They're very they're thankful that we came and teach them, because most of the time you think that, oh, it's a basic knowledge, you have rights, but people don't know how to assess them. You see, so we have to tell them, this is what you have to do, these are your rights, go to this agency, go to the hospital, go to the police, do your report, and all this.
They may be feeling and going through everything they've been going through, just waiting for someone to show them what the next steps are for them, without realizing there are options.
There are options, and most of them, because they're scared, oh, what if I don't get, and then most of the time it's always malu to tell people, I don't want to open up.
The shame of being a victim.
Yeah, because in Malaysia it's always victim blaming. Oh, you kena ni because you pakai macam ni, you too because you naughty, and all this. So it's always victim blaming. You never blame the perpetrators. So that has to change.
It's like your work is so difficult, because it's every step that you take forward, there's ways for people to then make you regress, because they find other ways to abuse children, right? Have you ever faced moments of doubt about the impact CPS Malaysia is making? Like, were there moments where you thought, wow, am I making a change? And how did you
I
overcome
just felt
these?
that yesterday.
Right. Right.
Am I not doing enough?
Right.
What am I what are we lacking?
Right.
What are we not doing enough, you see?
Could we have been doing something to prevent?
Could have we gone to the school, because we've not gone to that school, you see? So it's like, maybe we could have gone to that school and probably talk about all this. Maybe this wouldn't happen, but there's always what ifs, you see? But at the end of the day, one small step. you have to always take one step forward, and
Yeah.
then
And thinking of the good that you've done as well.
yes, the positive, like there are like when people say, "Oh, thank you for telling me what to do. Thank you that I know it's not my fault," because a lot of them are, "Oh, it's my fault. It's my fault." You see, it's not their fault. It's the perpetrator's fault.
I can imagine working with vulnerable children can be so gratifying, but also emotionally heavy and draining. How do you personally cope with the emotional weight of the stories you hear every day and everyone that you're trying to help?
I rely a lot on my team. I also rely on my family. So they're my anchors, and then they always encourage me, and then we have a good support system. I have a good support system. CPS has a good support system. So that's
It's
where,
interesting that you say that. It's almost like you want to give the kids what you have
yeah.
because you have this amazing support system
Yes.
that has made you the person that you are. And if only every child had that same support system, then they would be more ready, prepared for life as well.
It is actually because it's basic. It's what do you call this?
It's a right, right?
It's a right.
Human right.
It's a right, and it shouldn't be a privilege. It's a right.
And that's the sad part.
Yeah.
That it seems like that support system, that love that a person should get as a child is not as common
Yes,
as it should be.
as it should be.
As it
Correct.
should be. And what do you see as the most promising policy or legal changes that could strengthen child protection in Malaysia over the coming years?
Amended a lot of laws. We've created new laws. So bullying now is recognized as a crime under 507B2G.
Thank goodness.
So under the penal code, we've also introduced that any child has the right to legal representation in Malaysia. Any child.
That was not the case before?
No.
Wow.
Yeah. Legal representation by the government.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
Free legal help by the government. Any
That's a
child.
big change.
Yes. And then we have the introduction of Section 29A of the Child Act, which makes reporting of a crime mandatory. So if you know somebody has been abused, it's mandatory for you to report it.
Right.
So you can't just, oh, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
I don't want to get involved.
Yes, because then you are a part. You're
Yeah.
you're part of the problem.
Yeah.
You're letting it happen if you're not actually stepping in to save that child.
So we have all these laws, of course, but
Oh.
it shouldn't just be on paper. You see, you have to take act. It has to lead to actions. You see, you have to enforce it. Enforcement is another thing. There's lack of enforcement. That's why these things are happening.
That's why you work tirelessly, screaming over and over again, telling people, please.
Please go, because this is your right.
Yeah.
Go.
When you do the work that you do, what do you get from doing this? Because it's so tiring. It takes up so much time. It takes up so much of your heart.
What do I get out of this?
Yeah. Like, is it
To
the
know-
sheer joy?
To know that at least one child is safe.
Mm.
You know, to know, yeah, at least I can make a difference in one child's life is enough.
Mm.
And then the same thing. I want every child to be safe, to be in an environment where they are safe, and they're not screaming for help and nobody's listening. To give them a voice.
It's wild to think that at this very moment, there are children that need that help right now. When you think about the kind of Malaysia you want children to grow up in, what does that vision look like to you?
I envision a Malaysia where children are not silenced, they're heard. Protection, what do you call it? Sorry. Protection is not a privilege, it's a right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a Malaysia I envision, where children are protected and heard.
And what part do you hope CPS Malaysia Kuala Lumpur will play in building this?
From the work that we do, we want people to listen to the children. We want the children to know they have the rights. So that's why we do our programs and all, to raise awareness. You have this right. Do it. Do this. Yeah.
Now we've come to the rapid fire question part of
This
this
is making me nervous.
conversation. So whatever comes to mind is only an answer for now. That
Okay.
means your answer could change tomorrow.
Okay.
But for now, this is your answer at this moment.
Okay.
All right. Who's your childhood hero?
As you would know, my mother.
Who's right over there?
Yeah. She's my childhood hero. She taught me conviction and kindness can come hand in hand. Yeah.
Wow. One word you would use to describe yourself?
This is very difficult. I really don't know how to describe myself, so I had to ask around.
Okay.
You see, so there's a few came up, but I think the best I can say for now, this particular moment, empowering. Yeah, people tell me that I empower them to make a difference.
It's amazing that the word that describes you is the ability to give other people strength.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is a when I saw that question, I was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's interesting. It's like a superhero, instead of having a superpower, it's a superhero with the power to give other people power.
Yeah. I think we can say that.
Yeah. What's a book or movie that shaped your outlook on humanity?
On humanity. I used to be a bookworm, but now after becoming a lawyer, went to law school, I have no time to read.
Yeah.
But the book that I go to often is The Things You Can See When You Slow Down by Heyman Sunim.
Okay.
Heyman Sunim, yeah. So it teaches me that, you have to be mindful. And then you have to take one step at a time. Be conscious with whatever you do, because everything is fast paced. You take a break and reflect.
All right. What motivates you on days when the work feels overwhelming?
I look at my nieces and nephews. I want them to have a life where they are secured, a safer. I want them to live in a safe environment.
Right.
So that stems to not just for them, it's for everybody.
Right. To make the world safer.
Yeah.
A moment in your career that made you stop and think, this is why I do this.
When people say thank you for helping me get justice and all that. Yeah.
Wow. What's a phrase or quote you live by?
An-Nisa 135. Quran.
Right.
An-Nisa 135. It says, stand up firmly for justice, even if it's against yourself, your parents, or your family.
Wow. Wow. That's the other book that has shaped your outlook on humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is a question we ask all of our guests. If you had the opportunity to make one change as Prime Minister of Malaysia for a day, what would it be and why?
So I've never imagined myself to become Prime Minister. I don't think I ever want to.
Today's the day.
But if I were to change something, I would reform the education system. That is
starting with
we should teach children empathy. We should teach them laws, constitution, know what's their right, their basic rights, the fundamental rights. And then we should teach, besides teaching them English, maths and all this, teach them empathy, teach them life skills, teach them to be a better human.
Teach them to be a whole person.
Yes.
Not just to focus on this one element.
Yeah. Not just study to get this job, study to become this. You have to teach them to become a human being, not an animal.
Someone said once that we train our kids to become workers, not to become people.
Yeah, it's like robots.
Yeah, and I think we haven't mentioned anywhere in this discussion so far the fact that you're actually a lawyer who does this on what's supposed to happen during your free time.
Yeah.
But actually this now, your work with the Children's Protection Society Malaysia Kuala Lumpur has taken a larger part
Yeah.
of your life than your actual work.
So my mom would say I'm moonlighting as a lawyer nowadays. Because I'm like, oh wait, I have to do CPS work first. And then it's not that I don't want to do other work. I want to do, but it's like, no, I have to do this because this is important, you know, because of passion. I don't feel like it's work. And I'm thankful for, I think it's a privilege also that I get to do what I like. You see, becoming a lawyer is what I like to do.
Right.
And doing CPS also is what I like. So I never wake up like, oh, I dread to go to court, or I dread to go to raise awareness and all that. It's like I wake up, I'm like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us here today.
Thank you for having me.
And if we wanted to find out more information about Children's Protection Society Malaysia Kuala Lumpur, where do we go?
So we have a podcast, Jangan Sentuh Saya, on YouTube and also Spotify. It's called Berani Bicara Jangan Sentuh Saya, and our TikTok handle is called Jangan Sentuh Saya, and then our Instagram, Facebook, it's called is at Children's Protection Society.
Right. So
everything's the same.
Take all that down, visit all the sites, and thank you to Tengku, Yasmin, Nastasha, Children's Protection Society Malaysia Kuala Lumpur.
Thank you.
Project Director.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That was a mouthful, I feel.
I practiced. And of course, thank you for joining us as well. And we'll see you in the next episode of Life Confessions.